for me and put them in your room like I asked you to. Remember? You said you would. Hey guys. Hello. So, I had to come over here. Yes, I got my pimple cream on still. What's up, y'all? So, I wanted to come on here and just say a couple things before I go to bed. I just started a YouTube. What's up, guys? My name's Nicole, and I'm an addict in recovery. I've been sober for 4 years, and I'm currently on Suboxone and tapering down. So, yeah, that's that. Welcome back to Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction, and I share my life with you. So, here's the tea, y'all. Y'all know I started a Facebook group. Hey, Annie. Hey, Straight Talking. Hey, Angel. I started a Facebook group. It's called Real Talk Recovery, just like this YouTube channel. It's an all-inclusive, closed group for addicts and alcoholics who are, like, judgment-free, okay? Like, it's very important to leave your opinions and what you think about certain means of recovery behind, right? Like, same here on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is not a place to be just throwing around opinions. Like, this is a place where we don't judge other people for the way they decide to get sober or what program they work to get into recovery, whether it's 12 steps, refuge recovery, smart recovery, Mara, whatever it is. We don't judge anybody for their choice in how to recover. Super important, okay? So, I was on Facebook today because I did join like a couple of those like recovery humor pages because I always like to I don't know, for me, it's like I like joking about stuff that I did in my addiction, you know what I mean? And so I can laugh at those things. So I joined one of these pages. And I'm telling you what, y'all. So this girl posted a meme and it says, clean, and it's a pair of white Converses. Hey, Barry. And then it says, not clean, or Suboxone clean, and it's a dirty pair of Converses, like dark, they have dirt all over them, right? Just basically saying that, you know. And then the girl commented above it, and she says, you know, if you're on Suboxone and you call yourself clean, you're just lying to yourself. You need to go to a meeting and keep going to meetings until you can get honest, and just onward and onward and onward. And then at the end of her post, she says, but I'm not judging anybody. And I'm like, how is that not judging, right? So, of course, you guys know me. I went in the comment section and I just invited each person who said they were on Suboxone over here to our channel to hang out with us. Because I remember being new in my recovery and seeing posts like that on Facebook. That's exactly the reason why I left Facebook, you guys. Because of narrow-minded individuals. It's funny, you guys, to make jokes, but not when they're at the expense of another person's sobriety. Not when they're making fun of someone else's journey. Okay? That's not funny, you know? Making fun about how we used to cop dope and the things we used to pawn to get dope, that's funny. I can laugh about that. But making fun of a group of addicts who are on medically assisted treatment, I don't think that's funny at all. And I don't think a lot of people think it's funny. And what made me laugh so hard about this girl's post was that she was using a 12-step fellowship to kind of like beat us over the head, right? And that's why I posted underneath it. And I said, you know, this is why people don't want to go to AA and NA. Because of people like you who open up your dick suckers and talk shit. And then say that you're part of a fellowship. This is why people don't want to go to AA and NA. Because they think that everybody in AA and NA is going to be just like you. And that's the problem. AA and NA don't have any opinion on outside issues, and they encourage people who are on medically assisted treatment to keep coming back and to stay connected to the fellowship and to keep following their doctor's orders, okay? Like, they know. They don't fuck with that. And so it just makes me so upset to see people getting, like, hurt or turned away or think that this is the majority of what people think in the 12-step fellowships. You know what I mean? that these people do not represent AA or NA. You know what I mean? I don't represent AA or NA. But I do know that if I'm going to go out and say anything about meetings or anything, like, I'm going to represent it in a non-judgmental, caring, loving, tolerant way. I'm going to meet people where they're at, and hopefully they, you know, they will find their way into recovery, you know. And then I met a lady, you guys, in another group. She had commented about her son being addicted to heroin, and she didn't know what to do, right? That he was lying. He doesn't want to get sober. So I messaged her. I inboxed her, and I was like, hey, there's a couple different things you can do, and I'm going to tell you what you could do. And so I started out by telling her that he could go to treatment, but 30 days is not enough, and that if he goes to treatment, he needs to go in for 90 days or longer. And so that was one of my first options I gave her. And then the second option I gave her was, I told her about medically assisted treatment. And I told her, I said, I don't ever suggest people to get on medically assisted treatment unless they have tried to get sober and kept failing at trying to get sober. And then maybe it's a good fit for them. But now the way dope is, then the fact that there's fentanyl and everything, if your son is a heroin addict, he could die at any time. So getting him on medically assisted treatment could buy him time to find the will to want to change inside. Do you know what I'm saying? And so that's up to him and you, whether you want to take that route. And then I also told her about the involuntary commitment, that you can, you know, have somebody committed for, you know, being a harm to themselves or others. So, but I always, you know, I try to help people and let them know, like, 30 days of rehab is not going to do anything. If your kid gets into 30-day treatment, 9 times out of 10, I swear to you guys, they're going to come out of treatment after 30 days. They're going to relapse, turn around, and go right back in. And see what that is, especially if you have good insurance, that's just a way for these treatment centers to filter you back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, okay? So if you are looking for treatment and you want to get help, the best thing you can do is look for a treatment that's 90 days or longer. So that way you go in and you stick and stay. You know, that's what these treatment centers are doing, though. They're recycling people through and through and through. I know, y'all. I've been to treatment 5 times. I did it just like, that's why. Because I would come out after 30 days with absolutely no tools. The tools that I did learn, I mean, they just faded that quickly, because you can't. 30 days is, the fog is just starting to clear, you guys, when you're getting sober. And so it's so sad, because there's so many people on Facebook, you guys, looking for help and looking for resources and looking for people that can help them with their kids. And guess what? There's all these marketers and vultures and people that are just ready to jump on them and take their money and put their kid into treatment and take their insurance and build their insurance $5,000 for a urinalysis over and over and over again. Yeah, so it's just so sad, you guys. Like, so that's why I was like trying to kind of like, when I seen somebody commenting about needing help, like I reached out to them, like, and DM them and said, hey, like, you've got to do your research, because there's so many places that will take advantage of you. You know, they'll come to you and they'll say, we want to help your son, we want to help your daughter get sober, this is what we're going to do. And if 30 days is not enough time, if you have a child that is addicted to heroin or other drugs, they need to go into treatment for 90 days. 90 days at the least. 90 days at the least. If you cannot get your child into treatment, if you don't have the money, if you don't have the insurance, whatever, then you have got to get your kid into therapy and some kind of outpatient classes and some 12 steps. Go to AA or NA. It's free. But see, with AA and NA, the person has to be willing to start making changes and take suggestions, you know? If you can get your kid committed against their own will, then they can go into a psychological facility, a psych facility for a little bit. And then hopefully while they're in there, you can get them set up to go to treatment somewhere else. But there's also like scholarships and ways to get your kids into like treatment centers for free. But you have to call around and call and call. And then what happens is a lot of people don't want to hear from the parent. They want to hear from the person who is addicted. So if you have a loved one who's addicted and you want them to go to treatment, a lot of the times they have to call. They have to call and get themselves in. Well, this state that this lady was calling from did, because I looked it up. I Googled it to make sure. And then like here where I live, they have one. And then I think they have one in Kentucky too. Like it's like there's these new acts that they're passing that are like for people that are, you know, hurting themselves and that they could be a danger to themselves or other people. And even then, like sometimes it might just stick them into the psych ward for a week, but that's better than nothing, right? Get them up off the street for a little bit, and maybe while they're in there you can get some other stuff going. But if you have insurance, treatment is the key, but you need to go into long-term treatment. Don't go 30 days is nothing. I promise you, if somebody goes to treatment for 30 days, I don't know what the percentage is of people that go into treatment and come out and relapse, but I know that it's really high, you guys.
Can I show them this? Can I get a beautiful fertilizer?
So I just thought I'd come on and talk to you guys about that because when I saw those people like just talking about medically assisted treatment and being so mean to each other in the comment sections, you know what I mean? Oh, see, hopefully this one that she was in is Missouri, I think, and they have this thing called a civil involuntary commitment, and it's like section 39 of that commitment for drug addiction. Yeah, go ahead. Nate wants to show you guys his geodes that we cracked open. So we got these geodes, and look, you guys, do you see the crystals in there? Wow. And Nate's got a hammer, you guys, and he cracked both of these open, huh, Nate? Wow. Those are beautiful, son.
Why are they called geodes?
Because that's the kind of rock they are, geodes.
That's a real name.
That's a real name. I love you.
I said that's a weird name.
That's a weird name. I love you.
It's a Bonji Gingin, haha.
I love you, Bonji Gingin.
Hey, Bonji Gingin for Gavin.
I love you, Bonji Gingin, ha na na na. We have our own language now. We just started speaking it to each other. So, man, I'm telling you what, you guys, like, it makes me scared for, I don't know, I just want to help people, and I see people online, and I see people, parents who are struggling, who are searching for help, and they don't know what to do. And, you know, it's very dangerous to go into a group. Parents, if anybody sees this video who is a parent of someone who is addicted, it's very dangerous to go into a group and post that you're looking for help and that you'll do anything for the help, because there are people out there who are preying on addicts and loved ones of addicts, who will take your information and they will use it to get money for themselves, to put your kid in some shithole recovery center, and then they're over there living high on the hog, you know? So it's just so important that anywhere that you send your children, if they're going to go to treatment, that you really look up the place. I mean, do your research, okay? Make sure that you check out wherever they're going to go, wherever you're sending them. Don't just listen to what somebody tells you. And don't just listen to somebody that says, oh, we'll pay for the plane ticket. We'll put your kid on a plane and fly them out to California. And listen, your kid don't have to go to California, Florida, or anywhere far away from you to get rehab. They can go to treatment in the same state where you're at and be just fine. One of the first, one of the first signs of, hey, be careful, is if somebody's trying to fly your kid out to Florida or California, where these are like treatment center places where all these treatment centers are at. And then guess what else there is? there's a bunch of homeless drug addicts everywhere. Because guess what? It's kids that have gotten on planes, flown far away from their parents, and gotten dumped into these rehabs, came out, gotten into the halfway house, and then relapsed. And then the halfway house just kicks them out on the street. So then your kid that you put on this plane that you thought was going to be safe is homeless in Los Angeles, okay, walking the streets shooting heroin. So it's just super important to make sure that you do all your research you can. And you guys, this is common knowledge. Like, these are things that you can look up here on YouTube, and you can find videos about treatment centers who are literally just scamming people for their insurance and then kicking the kids out of the treatment center. You can look up videos of where there's treatment marketers that are sexually assaulting and pimping out young girls, giving them drugs to get high so they'll relapse, and then sending them back through rehab for their insurance policies. So be very careful. If you have a loved one who's suffering from the disease of addiction, do your research. Keep them close to home to where, if something happens, you can go up there and check on them and make sure that they're getting the best treatment that they can be getting. You know what I mean? Like I said, nobody has to go far away to get good treatment. And you can always, like I said, you can always go to Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous for free. Hey, Shannon, and get help there. There are many, many people in Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous who would be willing to help anyone with any kind of help, anything that they need help with. I didn't realize, it's only gotten worse on social media, especially on Facebook, you guys. It's just like a huge marketing scheme. And you see all these recovery advocates with these huge platforms who are supposed to be helping all these people, right? And really all they're doing is they're one big commercial for some treatment center. They're just a huge billboard for a treatment center. And they're getting paid by that treatment center to talk good about that treatment center. So that way, when you are online struggling with the disease of addiction and you see your favorite recovery advocate who has recovered from the disease of addiction and you look up to them and then you hear them talking about how amazing this treatment center is, it's so important, you guys. Please be careful, okay? Please be careful. You will never fucking catch me on here promoting some treatment center to you guys to go to, okay? It's just not going to happen. Unless I build the damn treatment center myself, you know what I mean? I don't trust anybody. I don't. And you know what? That's probably going to keep me from accepting a lot of awesome opportunities, but it's just what it is. I see a lot of people that were same as me. We were running together, right? And they have gotten huge followings on Facebook, and they've gotten hired by these huge treatment centers. But guess what? Ooh, let me tell y'all some tea. So since I've been gone from Facebook, there has been some stuff that has gone down in the recovery community. And so, me, I went to go look and see what has been going on. Well, there's this treatment center in Florida called Boca, B-O-C-A, Boca Recovery Center. And for some reason, this place has fired 4 people in the last year that worked for them. Well, I don't think the treatment center is bad per se. I think they're a good treatment center. That's why they fired these fools. But recently, they just fired this one guy. And you can go to his page right now where he was telling this story about how, I guess he hooked up with some girls, and he's saying how it was consensual, and he says it on his Facebook page. He's talking about how it was consensual and that people are painting him out to be a predator, and he's like, it was consensual. I don't think that's why people are mad at you, bro. I think they're mad at you because you're supposed to be in recovery and guiding these young women who need help to get treatment, to get help, not scamming on their punani. Do you know what I'm saying? And so that's what this is why I'm telling you guys, this is why I don't fool with the men. This is why on my Patreon, I don't have men on my Patreon, you guys. That's why, like, if you're a man and you need help finding some recovery support, I have options. I will give you other guys' phone numbers. I'll email with you. I'll chat with you a little bit, but you will not catch me fraternizing with the dudes. No sirree. Because I've seen this time and time again where these dudes get sober and they get a little time underneath their belts, and then the next thing you know, they start scamming on chicks that are new in sobriety. 13th stepping them left and right. And it's happening all over Facebook. It's like, what the hell, dude? You're like supposed to be helping people, not hooking up with them. And that's not cool, you guys. Like, when a woman is fresh and she's trying to get sober, first of all, her mind's not right. She's easily persuaded. She probably flirting with you because she's living that drug life. And as a sober man with years of sobriety, it's your job to say no, and stand your ground. Even if it doesn't matter how human you are, that's your job to protect those young ladies and to help them find treatment. And this is what happens all over the place. And this is why a couple months back, somebody here on YouTube was doing the same thing with women. And I told him, you don't need to be helping the women. You are married. You're going to get yourself in trouble. People are going to start talking shit. I mean, you guys, because that's what people do. They will see, even if a man is doing good, and maybe he's not trying to hook up with women, but just the fact that people see and they think, and then they start talking. So as addicts in recovery, we have to protect ourselves and use common sense. And that's why I stick to the women. Right, for treatment, Angel. Exactly. See what I'm saying? Oh, and so that one guy, he apparently got fired, and he was literally, I'm not going to say his name because I'll tell one of you guys. If you guys messaged me, I'll tell you. Well, I know, I do work with one gay guy, and that's Jason from These Four Walls. So if you're a gay man, call me, baby. I'll help you with anything you need. Yeah, thank you, Straight Talking, for pointing that out, because I want to make sure that the gay guys know that I love them. And it's not because I don't love my male followers, you guys. Hey, Big Easy. It's not because I don't want to help you guys, okay? I'm serious. It's just because I have to protect myself. If a man joins my Patreon, I have another man that will work with him, right? I have somebody that's going to start helping me with that. But I just have to keep myself protected, and I have to keep you guys protected too. Sorry, this is my zit cream, just so you guys know. And that's what a person who is doing the right thing will do, you guys. They will make sure that the women stick with the women, okay? And if for some reason somebody's going to do an intervention, or maybe you're helping people with that, right? If you're going in to intervene in some woman's house, you take women with you, okay? If you're a man and you're going to do this intervention, you take 3 other ladies with you that are sober, that can be there with you as a witness, okay? If you're a woman and you're going into a man's house, you take 3 dudes with you that can be there to supervise and be a witness. These are just things that you can do to protect yourself if you're trying to help addicts and alcoholics. Because when we're in active addiction, you guys, we will say things, I mean, you guys know how it is. I mean, I don't know how many times I've told a lie when I was in active addiction, especially when I would get mad at somebody or a counselor. I mean, just be careful. But so that's what's been going on. Like, that guy got fired, and then who else? 2 other guys got fired. But there's this, if you guys want to get up to date on like what's going on in the recovery community, there's this, it's called Holy Shit Recovery News. Find that page and y'all will know everything that's going on. And then you'll see what I'm talking about. Because there's a lot of people who say that they're one thing when they're not. And they're just there to profit off of the backs of still sick and suffering addicts. And that's not cool. It's not cool. Stop telling lies. Stop trying to profit off people who are struggling. And just do the next right thing. It's not hard to do the right thing. If you're a drug addict in recovery, you know how hard it was to get sober. You know how hard it was to find that help. Remember where you came from. Humble yourself and don't forget what it was like when you were out there. You guys, I talk to so many people every day just talk to them on the phone just because I like to do it, right? There's people that will do that to you, that will, take advantage of you. And oh gosh, just please be careful. Anybody out there that's struggling, be careful. Anytime you are looking for help or treatment, make sure that you do so much research. Don't get taken advantage of, okay? Don't get taken advantage of. Protect yourself. And if you're in recovery, just remember that, like, we got to be careful what we do and how we talk to other people that are in recovery. Like, there's no place for judgment in recovery. Hey, Nick, we have to help each other. I have pimple cream on. Don't laugh. We have to help each other. We have to protect each other, you guys, because it's easy to just like spout things out without thinking before we speak. But a lot of the things we say carry so much weight, especially to someone who is new in sobriety, who is just looking and who is trying to like learn, right? Especially to somebody who is like, okay, for instance, like when I was new in my recovery 4 years ago, when I first started, I can remember having my heart just broken to a million pieces because I went on to Facebook and I was watching these people I looked up to, these recovery advocates who had 4 and 5 and 6 years sober. And then they started talking about medically assisted treatment. And then my heart just got shattered. It was like, why are they talking bad about something that's helping me? And so that's why, like, you will never catch me coming on here talking bad about anybody and their sobriety. Like, whatever you do that works for you, you just keep on doing what you got to do. It doesn't matter what road you take to get to where you're going. All that matters is that you're on that path. Okay, that's all that matters. And it doesn't take anything to be nice. It doesn't take anything to be compassionate to other people, you guys. It doesn't take anything to think about things before you speak. Think about it. If I'm talking shit about somebody who's on Suboxone or methadone, why am I saying that? Is it because I feel like they somehow got over on me? Is it because I feel like they got the easy way out? Is it because I'm jealous? Is it because I think that they're not doing it the right way and they need to do it my way? Like, really look at yourself and ask yourself, why? Why do I feel so much animosity and resentment towards somebody else who's on this medication, right? Because that's what it all boils down to. Is it fear? Are you fear that you're missing out on something? These are the things that I have to ask myself when I'm like having some kind of animosity or resentment towards someone else. And 9 times out of 10, it's because I'm fearful, and so I have gotten myself back on track. Literally, y'all, today has been so amazing because I found my focus again. It's like, girl, I'm here to help people who are going through what I'm going through. That's what I'm here for. And I lost myself a little on the way. Through that 4th year and, celebrating the 4 years of sobriety and then coming on here and then my channel growing a little bit, I kind of lost myself. And I started comparing myself to other people and thinking that I needed to be like them, and that's something that I struggled with all my life when I was growing up. I always thought I needed to be like everybody else to fit in, and that, those people were cool, and if I wasn't like that, I wasn't cool, but that's not what I'm here for. Like, if I cannot tell you guys enough, God has shown me my purpose, and the way that I know that every single day is because of you guys. Every single day because of you guys. And y'all help me so much, and I've got to keep myself focused on what my goal is here, which is to help other people who are on methadone, who are on Suboxone, who are on Vivitrol, people like me who are on medically assisted treatment. That's so important to me, to spread a message of hope and recovery and to let you know that you're not alone. Hey, Joy. It's so important to me, you guys, for y'all to know that I used to feel like I was alone too. I used to think I'm never gonna be like everybody else. And for some reason, that's what I wanted. I was like, I need to get off this medication so I can be up to par with everybody else, right? And I was like constantly racking my brain. How am I going to get there? And so what I was doing was I was so worried about how I was going to get to where I was going that I was fucking driving off the road. I wasn't even on the path because I was so worried about where I needed to go. I wasn't getting there, you know? Hi everyone, sorry for not reading today, but I'm under the weather right now. Hey Candy, I like your new picture and your name on that thing. That's what's up, girl. I like that. It's okay. I totally understand. I've been feeling that way too, sis. You can take a day off. Y'all, that's Candy. She does the morning meditation in our Facebook group, which is Real Talk Recovery on the Facebook. And so if you need support, Candy's been doing such a good job over there, just kind of like leading the way for everybody. So I really appreciate that so much. Y'all have no idea. But I'm telling you guys, like, every now and then I'll find myself slipping back into this old thinking where I think that I have to be like everybody else. Where are you going, girl? Okay, love you. Where I sink back into this old thinking that I have to be like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to, gotta get an hour of sleep before work. Okay, bye Joy. Everybody in here, y'all are subscribed to Joy, right? She has a channel all about prison and her experience, and she does true crime. I'll see you later. Have a good night, girl. I hope you get some sleep. Man, I'm telling y'all what, I guess it's just human nature, y'all, to kind of get off the beaten path a little bit and then kind of like wake up and realize like, I got to get back on track. And I also think it's kind of like, you know, for me as an addict, I am still kind of back in my old 17-year-old self. You know what I mean? Like I'm still maturing as an adult. And so I know that y'all probably think that's like, seriously, like, I used drugs for so long that I like mentally stunted myself. So I'm still like growing and learning. And so it's so easy to just like catch myself. And I know you other women in here at least know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about. When you see another girl and you're like, oh gosh, wow, she's doing so good in her life. Like, I'm never going to be that. I'm never going to get to that point. Or where you think like, you know, I don't know. It's just like this not good thing where you kind of like start seeing something else. And then what has to happen is sometimes I have to take those people out of my life so I don't see them anymore, because it starts to get to this point where it's unhealthy for me to even be around them or see them, because I can't be around them, and it's not their fault. It's me. I just can't. Like, I got to be over here doing me. You know, and I have to surround people around me who are on the same kind of journey that I'm on. Like people who are like, understand me. People who are transparent and just open up and talk about how they're feeling. Like I'm drawn to other women that can just say like, yeah, I was feeling like this, you know? Hey, Tasha, I'm reading what you said, girl. Oh, that's not good. I totally understand how you feel about the whole, like, exploding, though. We were talking about that earlier today. It's like this restlessness feeling, you know? And can you not sit and talk with your family or sit and have a conversation with them and kind of try to maybe get somebody at the house who can sit with y'all, who can be a mediator between you guys, and then y'all can all sit there and have a conversation, you know? Homeless night, because... And sometimes that's all we got to do. Well, sometimes we need to have our girlfriends around us, you know what I mean? So we can just have a good time and spend time with each other and laugh. But you know what, Tasha? Like, if you can sit down and, like, try to work it out, have a communication with your family. But if that's out of the question, then you know what? Like I was saying before, sometimes we just got to take those people out of our lives. And I know it sucks. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes we're glad to get them out of our lives. I'll tell y'all a little story. When me and Neil first got sober, we had to take his mom out of our life because she just drove my ass insane. Insane. Okay? very passive aggressive, always pointing out things that maybe I fall short on, right? And so instead of fighting with her and going back and forth all the time, I just stopped going around her. I just stopped fooling with her. And I'm telling you what, you guys, the peace that I found because I stopped entertaining the fighting with her. Sometimes if you have family members who are just constantly jabbing you, bringing up old stuff, talking about your addiction, throwing it back in your face, don't engage them. Don't engage them. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm a different person. Just walk off. Because that's what they want you to do. They want you to respond. They want you to be the old Tasha. You know, and that's what I had to learn. Like, a lot of people were wanting me to respond the way I used to be, the old Nicole. You know, the Nicole who just popped off and said shit without thinking and started fights with people and fought my sister and all kinds of crazy stuff, you know. And I'm not that Nicole anymore. So just, if they want you to engage with them, just don't do it. And what you'll see is it makes them so angry because you're not going to fool with them no more. And they can't fight with themselves. You know, they can't talk crazy to themselves. But sometimes it's so difficult, you guys, because when we were in active addiction, we did all these things to our family, and we feel so much guilt and shame from that, you know? So what we'll do is we'll just put up with so much shit from our families because we feel like we should because we put them through so much stuff, right? And it's like, no, you don't have to put up with that. You don't. You don't have to put up with that. You're a different person today. And all you can do is continue to show them through your actions that you're a new person. Stop talking about it. Don't tell them anymore. Just do it. Just show them through your actions. And you know what? If you're showing them through your actions and they're still talking crazy, like I said, remove them from your life. Oh, Tasha, you still live with your parents. Let me see that. You got to get out of there, girl. Get out of there. Get out of their house. When can you get your own place, or can you move in with a friend that's sober? Because here's the thing. That is an abusive relationship right there. Your parents are abusing you. That's unhealthy, and you don't have to be there. Oh, that makes me so mad. You know why they're doing that, don't you? Okay. In addiction, addiction doesn't just affect us, it affects our whole family. So when we get better, we start getting well. Oh, here we are. This is us, okay? This is us. We're Hulk. We're getting well, so our muscles are getting up, right? And this is our parents back here. And so when we were in active addiction, we were always laying on the ground, you know, and our parents were having to come over and save us. And they take care of us all the time. And they were kind of like, you know, we depended on them. Look at them. They're carrying us across the threshold. And, oh, look at you guys. Y'all are so good to your daughter. Y'all take such good care of her. What would she do without y'all, right? So they're getting all this credit all the time, right? Well, then you get strong again and you get sober, which is any parent would be happy, right? Yay, my kid's sober. But what will happen, a lot of parents will start falling back in the back over here, and they don't have anything to do anymore. They don't have nobody to rescue. They don't have nobody to keep them busy, because guess what? This relationship between you and your parents is a codependent relationship, you know, and they were depending on you to fuck up all the time so that way they could come in and save you. Same thing happened with my mother-in-law and my husband. He started getting his life together, and she didn't know what to do. She kind of had a problem. She kind of started struggling, letting go of the reins, because here Neil was growing and becoming better and kind of getting away from his mom. And not that we don't see her, like we see her a lot, but like not relying on her and relying on me, his wife, right? And so when that started happening, you could tell it was bothering her because she was trying to pull back. And it's because that happens, you guys. It's like a changing dynamic, and a lot of people struggle with that dynamic. And I'm not saying that your parents don't want you to be sober and they don't want you to succeed, but a lot of the time they get so comfortable in that savior role. Like, I got to go save Tasha. She's fucking up again. or I got to go bail her out of jail. And then everybody's like, oh, you guys must have it so hard. Poor parents. Tasha's such a bad girl, right? And now they're not doing that anymore. And so, like, you think that they would be happy and that their lives would be so great, right? And that they would just be like, yes, finally, Tasha's got it together. But now they don't know what to do because they can't fix, manage, and control your life anymore. And so now what they need to do is go to Al-Anon and learn how to do without. They're just as sick as you are, you guys. Just as sick. That's how it is with addiction. We have the addiction, but our parents are also struggling too with that, like, codependency and that need to take care of us and the need to come and save us. And my mom, you guys, went to Al-Anon, and that's how she kind of like figured it out. She's like, screw this, I'm living my own life, you know. And that my mom, I'm telling you what, you guys, like, my parents were the same way at the beginning of my addiction, but my parents were literally going insane. My parents were going to have a heart attack because they were trying to save me all the time. So my mom one day went to Al-Anon, and that's when she came home and she was like, oh, I learned how to detach with love. See ya, and kicked me out. I was like, damn. You know, but that's what happens, you guys. And look at me. I'm probably going to be that parent too. If my little boy starts going off the deep end when he gets older, I can just see it now. Lord. And that's the thing, you guys. All the information I know about addiction, all the things I know about codependency and the things that I've worked through to get myself back on track, even though I know these things, doesn't mean that when this shit starts happening that I'm going to be able to put that shit into common action, into doing it, you know? It's just different when you're in that situation, you guys. It's different. And so I hear people telling people all the time, leave, kick him out, blah, blah, blah. Until you're in that situation, you don't know how you're going to act or react. It's just like, just all you can do is, to the best of your ability, do what you got to do. Tasha, if I was you, I would get out and try to get out, make a goal. That's what I would do. I would make a goal that I want to get out, right? I want to get out, and I want to, you know, be my own person without her, without my parents. And that's a good goal to have anyway, you know, because, yeah, you want to be on your own. You want to be able to, you know, grow and be without your mom and dad, which, I mean, it's not a bad thing. If I could have lived with my parents, y'all, I would have lived with my parents until I could have, absolutely, until they kicked me out, which I did, but they kicked me out early. But what I'm saying is, like, it's amazing that you have that support, Tasha. Like, remember that. Like, some people don't have that, any kind of support. So that's also where we got to remember, like, you know, we have the support, but that doesn't mean that you deserve to get treated like shit. So make a goal and start working towards that goal. And don't engage. If they're talking crazy to you, just ignore them and walk off. If you can, spend as much time, you know, with your friends and your kids as you can away from them, you know. Oh, Lou, she just gets pregnant by bad men. Right. And so it's like, Lou, you have to let her make her own bed and lay in it. And she is eventually going to learn, just like my sister learned, because my sister was the same way. My sister Michelle has been pregnant so many times, you guys. So many times. And they were all pieces of shit. And my parents just had to get to the point where I told them, it's like, what are you going to do? Take care of every kid that pops out of her? Like, you cannot do this. This is not your responsibility. You know, my mom and dad are 50 and 60 something years old. You know, we have to just, like, I know that when my son gets to that age, I'm going to have to start telling myself these same things. Like, the only thing we can do is, like, love our kids, and, like, hopefully they'll make the best decisions they can. You know, and if you have grandkids and she has kids, and, you know, you do everything you can to be present in those grandkids' life and go get them and have them over and protect them, you know what I mean? But it's like, it just sucks because whenever women are in relationships with men, you know, Lou, from experience, that she's going to go with him until she doesn't want to go with him anymore. You know that from experience. It's like when a woman is with a man who treats her like shit, it's so crazy because everybody in the world can be saying, hey, he's treating you like shit, blah, 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 blah. But she will have to get enough. And when she gets enough, she will break off, right? But until then, it's like, ugh. It's just so sad, you guys. It's hard. It's just hard. We love our families, and we want to be, I know I want to be I want to be the best mom, right? But God, I can already know. Thank God Nate's only 5 right now, so I have a long ways to go. But I can't imagine what it would be like if he had some girl who was treating him bad, or a girlfriend that was like doing heroin. Honestly, you guys, I would fucking kick that girl out of my house and lock the door and lock him in his room and never let him out. But anyway, I really enjoyed talking with you guys. I don't know what we got. We just totally went all the way over here to the left, but that's okay because that's how it goes sometimes over here. I just want you to know, like, if Lou's still here, I mean, if Tasha's here, still here. Sorry, I was reading Lou's name. If Tasha's still here, like, when I got sober, I went through the same thing with my husband's mom, and it was just really difficult and his dad was still alive too, and it was because we had depended on his parents for so long, and they were our number one enablers. They were our chief enablers. They gave us money. They allowed us to live here, all kinds of things. And so when we got sober, it was really difficult for them to step back and let us recover and let us do things for ourselves and trust us, right? But they never, ever disrespected us, and they never called us names or anything like that. That's just plain abuse, and you don't have to put up with that, So anyways, I love you guys. I'm going to jump off here. Thank you, Annie, for, just doing the things in the comments that you do, because that's very, very good. I appreciate that. Yes, Lou Allen has a channel all about her experience in abuse as a survivor of abuse. And she also has 2 books that she's written. So check out her channel. She's a good person. She is like I am. She gets discouraged really easy and stuff. So if y'all could go over there and subscribe to her channel, that would probably make her feel so good. So anyways, I love you guys, and yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow, okay? I'm actually going to go lay down today. And Tasha and Angel and Annie and Lou and Candy, I love all you guys. I'm super proud of each and every one of you and all the progress y'all are making. Don't get discouraged. Just keep on doing what you're doing, and don't let things get you down, because tomorrow's a new day. All right, bye guys.